What the city is talking about. This is Montreal Now on News Talk Radio, CJAD 800.
That is James Mennie. He is over at the Montreal Gazette. Jim, I haven't talked about this all afternoon, but we're going to talk about it. So big announcement today. Justin Trudeau and Anita Anand both on hand to talk about this high-speed rail that we're finally getting, Jim. We've only been waiting for 25 or so years. It's finally going to happen, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm as giddy as a schoolgirl. The Prime Minister said it's going to happen. And you know, Aaron, as long as Justin Trudeau is Prime Minister of Canada, you can take that promise to the bank.
So you're saying it's good for at least another couple of weeks?
Another couple of weeks.
Okay.
And in fact, my understanding is the first revenue stream will be selling tickets for ferry rides along the River of Dreams, where you can actually see the high-speed trail project right alongside the Cavendish Boulevard extension.
Wow, isn't that convenient? By the way, for those who missed it, I thought, Jim, if you didn't hear it this morning, Andrew was talking to Tom Mulcair, right? They do this every morning. He asked him about this. This is what Tom Mulcair said about the high-speed rail project.
No, because it'll never get built.
Okay.
I hate to tell you. There's a reason why Mr. Trudeau waited till the last month of his 9.5 years in office to make this proposal, because it's not going to get built.
All right.
The main reason it's not going to get built has nothing to do with the fact that we don't have the technological or the engineering ability to do it. It's not going to get built because it would kill Air Canada.
Now, I understood Air Canada is one of the people involved in the project, aren't they?
Absolutely, my friend. And as many of our listeners know, when it comes to high-speed railways, the first name that pops into my head, of course, is Air Canada.
Of course, yeah.
However, they're saying, well, we're involved with other railways. We're coordinating our operations with the French railway system, with the German railway system, so you can hook up with the train when you get off your plane. There's a consumers group that's suggesting the reason they're in on this, that they're part of the consortium, is that they will have access to data on the traveling habits all along that corridor, which a lot of other airlines, i.e. all the others, don't have access to. However, they're saying, no, there's nothing sinister here, nothing to see here. But you know why there's nothing to see here? Because it ain't going to happen. First of all, $3.9 billion just to identify the route, okay? I'll tell you right now, for $1 billion, I will do it. Head straight from Quebec City through to Montreal, hang a tight right at Ottawa, hard left at Peterborough, straight through to Toronto, and you are there, okay? $3.9 billion. You use Google Maps, for God's sakes, This is ridiculous, but this is why they're showing us. And don't forget, that's just to get the route done, okay? To actually build this thing, what is it, anywhere from 120 to like $200 billion, it's not going to happen. It simply is not going to happen. It's a feel-good thing. I guess it's the idea of let's stick it to Donald Trump. We're going to take all that steel and aluminum and we're going to use it ourselves and we're going to build a big fat railway. And the thing is, some analysts have been looking at this and saying the main cities like Toronto, QC, and Montreal will not see any real tangible benefit. Although other cities on the line, Peterborough, perhaps Ottawa, will actually get spinoffs from this financial development. And God knows how many times have you done segments on the show where you've asked the listeners, don't you wish you could get to 12 Riviere more quickly? So, this is spot on with what the people want. But as you may have gleaned, this is not going to happen. You can take it to the bank, if only because once this election is over, once the dust settles, no matter who is in power, we have other things to do. Right now, we have other priorities other than, putting our hands over our hearts, singing Kumbaya, and pretending we're going to build a high-speed rail link between Quebec City and Toronto. And quite frankly, I don't think we should. I think some things should never be realized. I think we should always be dreaming about something. If it becomes a reality, all of a sudden, it becomes very, very, work a day. And,
it's no longer a dream,
Yeah, I like the golden shimmer around the idea of being able to go from like Montreal to Toronto in 3 hours. Although my understanding is when you're driving, that's how long it takes.
Roughly that, 3.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, to your point, you're on fire today. Listen, this idea of what happens, right, because it's an obvious question, once there's a change in government, which is quite possibly going to happen, in a matter of months, that question did come up today. I want you to hear the answer to it, right? Because this project, great for a week or two, but then what happens? Here's what was said.
Listen, this high-speed rail in this country was always going to be a project that would take long enough to build that it would cover multiple governments at all different orders of government, from municipal to provincial to federal. And it takes a will and a determination by a government to move forward and lock in this progress. That's exactly what we're doing now, with contracts signed to build this project in a way that will be there for Canadians. Obviously, future governments will make their determinations about how they invest, but this investment in Canadians, which starts right now, is going to be very difficult to turn back on.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. We'll stop talking about this by the end of the month.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I think we'll stop talking about this by the end of this week, because after that, apart from that, it's going to be, okay, well, we wait and see now. Let's get this done. But as I say, we have an election to go through, priorities to make. It simply is not going to happen. As I say, which it would be nice. It would be really, really nice.
But why can't we have something nice? Other places have this. Japan's got it. Europe's got it. Why can't we have one?
Because, Aaron, it's a monorail project. It always has been. And I'm surprised you didn't play the song. But the thing is, it's a monorail project. There have been 24 feasibility studies conducted since, I think, 1980 on a high-speed rail link between Quebec City and Windsor. And it has never happened. The reason it's never happened is prohibitively expensive. It's still prohibitively expensive. No one's going to spend that kind of money. And honestly, how many times, joking aside, how many times has it ever come up on the show or in conversation over the course of your life, it's saying, damn, I wish I had a high-speed rail link to Toronto, or I had a high-speed rail link to Quebec City.
People complain about how inefficient the trains are more often than not, and it's a pain in the ass to have to go to the airport.
Okay, so you know what? Here's the thing: for $3.9 billion, and remember, that's just the survey plan to get the route done. Take $3.9 billion, nationalize all railways. Okay, bring them up to European standards, because you're right. It is a scandal. It is a disgrace. Railways built this country. And the state of railways in this country right now is an absolute disgrace. It's a fiasco. It's a scandal. Okay? And the one thing, remember the last spike, it bound this country, from one coast to the other. What did we do? We blew up the coast-to-coast train. Okay? Oh, who needs that? Even though, it's part of our heritage. But no, let's get that high-speed link. So I don't know. You can leave Montreal at lunchtime and be in TO for happy hour.
Jim, wait a sec. I have an idea beyond your idea for the $1 million to do this on Google Maps and save the government $3.8 million. What if we just, sold all the cars to major companies like Coca-Cola could have a car, McDonald's could have a car, they'd have their logo on it, and price each of those out at several $1 million. Would that not be better?
You're talking about railway cars?
Yeah, no. Yeah, on the high-speed car, on the high-speed train.
Oh.
To help defray the cost.
Yeah, sure. And God forbid something happens. That's the picture you want to have on the front page of every news platform.
Okay, fair enough. Way to go, spoil sport.
All
right.
Things didn't go better with Coke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, let me get to what I started the show with today. I want to know we didn't talk about this at all, I don't think. It happened on Monday. The City of Montreal formally announced their creation of the Bureau of the French Language. I'm beyond disgusted with this, but anyway, I'll get into that in the question. You know the story. You saw the story. What's your reaction to this?
I am fascinated by the fact that the person in charge is Louise Arel, former PQ minister, and a lot of our older listeners, I guess, listeners of a certain age, will remember her from the forced municipal mergers. But she also ran to be mayor of Montreal, and this was she was running against Gérald Tremblay. And I interviewed her on many, many occasions, Aaron, and I find it fascinating. And I have the utmost respect for Louise Arel, no matter what her political convictions are. Okay, I think she does have at bottom, and we may not agree with the end result. At bottom, I do think she has the public good in mind. But it is necessary for me to point out that the minute that Madame Arel decided to run to be mayor of Montreal, you know what the first thing she did was?
No.
take English lessons.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, didn't help her in an election. I wonder, is this a way to get
No,
back
but
at
the
it?
fact of the matter is, even then, I would imagine Madame Harel, and I say this with all due respect to Madame Harel, realized that Montreal, you can't be a monoglot francophone. That Montreal has two languages, and I'm being charitable here. Montreal has two languages. It's not a. I know it sounds like heresy to the khakis and their friends out in the sticks, but the bottom line is the idea that you're going to enforce, you're going to make Montreal. It already is a French city.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't need any help from a bunch of Projet Montréal apparatchiks or wannabes who want to eventually end up working for the OQLF. No, but you know what? This is just window dressing. Once again, with all due respect to Madame Marat, I don't take this office seriously. I think it's just a shut up the cat government. So maybe they'll be more cooperative on other files. But the idea of this, I mean, we already have a provincial one. We don't need a municipal one.
And that's where we'll leave it. All right, Jim, thank you. I appreciate it.
At the